Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I thank you, Mr. President, for giving me the floor, and I take this opportunity to commend your stewardship of the General Assembly in this 77th session. I bring you and the Assembly warm greetings from His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and his best wishes for a smooth passage of the draft resolution contained in document A/77/L.8 entitled World Day for the Prevention of and Healing from Child Sexual Exploitation, Abuse, and Violence, which I have the honor to introduce. My participation in this meeting is a clear testimony of the importance the President and government of Sierra Leone attach to the concern of women, children, and the marginalized. This is part of the objectives Sierra Leone has committed herself to pursue in service to humanity and the international community as we look forward to this Assembly's resounding support for Sierra Leone to serve in the non-permanent category of the United Nations Security Council for the term 2024-2025 with similar priorities. Mr. President, on the draft resolution before the Assembly for consideration, I am pleased to inform you that in addition to the main sponsors, Nigeria and Sierra Leone, at least 100 member states have co-sponsored the draft resolution on e-debate. I thank all the co-sponsors for accepting to take ownership of this important initiative. Children, especially girls, are at a large risk of experiencing forced sex, sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. The prevalence of child sexual abuse and the attendant consequences associated with the scourge has placed this heinous crime among the 24 risk factors identified by the WHO as substantively contributing to the global burden of disease. The heightening increase in the burden of chronic diseases associated with child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence adversely impact GDP growth as well as economic and social development, especially among developing nations where the prevalence has been alarming. Excellencies and distinguished delegates, preventing child sexual abuse is an emergency, yes, but it is a doable one, and required a multi-sectoral approach. Effective approach to preventing the menace include supporting parents, teaching positive parenting skill, increasing the awareness among governments, international organizations, civil society on actions every stakeholder can take to combat child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. We therefore call for the enhancement of laws that protect children in their homes, online, and in their communities to bring perpetrators of this heinous crime to justice. Mr. President, declarations of the United Nations International Day to call on, sensitize, and educate the public on issues of concern in order to mobilize the necessary political will and resources to address global problems impacting humanity have proven to be effective tool of advocacy for the public goods and social justice. Adopting this resolution today to declare the 18th November as World Day for the Prevention of and Healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence will accordingly lead to increased awareness of child sexual abuse. By the adoption of the draft resolution, member states of the UN shall be committing to mobilize our respective governments, international organizations, and civil society, not only to act, but to promote greater understanding of the impact of childhood sexual abuse on victims, their family, their communities, and the world at large. More importantly, the clarion call is to eliminate the shame and stigma associated with child sexual abuse by elevating the voices of victims and survivors, and to provide a platform for international collaboration to urge governments, international organizations, and civil society to dedicate resources for the prevention of all forms of child sexual abuse, healing, and justice for its victims. The government of Sierra Leone is exceedingly grateful to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for the collaboration in pioneering and facilitating the process with Sierra Leone that has led to the tabling of the draft resolution for consideration and adoption by the General Assembly. Mr. President, on the process, I am pleased to note that Nigeria and Sierra Leone, as co-facilitators, led open and transparent consultations and negotiations where all delegations were able to express their views. Considerably, the draft resolution contained 5 preambular paragraphs and 4 operative paragraphs. The preambular paragraphs recalls the relevant human rights instruments and resolutions of the General Assembly, including the 2030 Agenda for the Sustainable Development, which places the dignity of a child and their rights to live free from violence as a priority on the International Development Agenda, relevant to ending exploitation, abuse, trafficking, torture, and all forms of violence and harmful practices against our children. In expressing grave concern that children, especially girls, are at greater risk of experiencing forced sex, sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, including both online and offline, the preambular paragraph also affirms the need to eliminate, prevent all forms of child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, and to promote the dignity, rights, including mental and physical health and healing. Through the operative paragraph, the General Assembly will proclaim 18 November each year as the World Day for the prevention of and healing from child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, and invite all member states, relevant international organizations, world leaders, faith actors, civil societies, academic institutions, the private sector, and other stakeholders to commemorate the day each year in a manner that each considers most appropriate. Commemorating the day may include commitments to ensure quality education and to raise public awareness of those impacted by child abuse and the need to prevent and eliminate child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence, and the imperative to hold perpetrators to account. It is also to ensure access to survival and victims to justice and remedy, as well as facilitate open discussion on the need to prevent and eliminate destigmatization, promote their healing, affirm their dignity, and protect their right. We are therefore deeply grateful for the broad support this draft resolution has received. We would like to thank all delegations for their very constructive engagement and active support. We again thank all member states that have co-sponsored this draft resolution, as we call on those who are yet to co-sponsor the resolution before its adoption. We hope all member states will support our efforts to pass this resolution by consensus. We once again thank the Federal Republic of Nigeria for partnering with Sierra Leone, and we thank the Secretariat for their technical support and advice. We take this opportunity to thank the Global Collaborative for their support and engagement throughout the process. In closing, Mr. President, at the United Nations, we believe dignity is fundamental and it is an enabling human right. Let us therefore work to preserve the dignity of our children, to protect their childhood, restore and dignity of victims and survivors of child exploitation, abuse, and violence, and bring justice. I repeat, bring them justice and healing. At this point, I want to say to the world, hands off our girls. Thank you very much.
I thank the distinguished representative of Sierra Leone, the First Lady of Sierra Leone. The Assembly will now take a decision